If you're at this point of construction of your new home, you got your foundation wall in place, you got the form stripped off, now you have to make some pretty important decisions as to how you're going to moisture-proof that wall. As you can see in this particular case here, we got a number of cold joints. We got areas where water could penetrate into that basement area, causing no end to grief down the road. Well, that particular area, to save energy and also save all those headaches, I think we should consider a membrane system. So let's go and talk about it. And folks, here's one of the products right here called Delta MS. And to talk about it is Joe from Consolidated. How are you doing, Joe?
Very good, Shell.
Good. Tell us about this product of yours.
Shell, this is an air gap technology. The unique dimple designs creates an airspace around the entire foundation to allow the concrete to breathe.
So the dimples go up against the concrete?
That's correct, Shell.
Uh-huh. And then what happens with the hydraulic pressure outside?
Any type of hydrostatic water pressure pushing up against the foundation wall where there could be a defect in the wall itself, creating a water problem, will stop at the barrier of the sheet and drain naturally through the soils down to the drain tile.
Well, let's go down and take a look at some of those defects. Down here in the excavation, looking at the concrete wall, as you can see here where the form ties went through the concrete wall have been snapped off, those areas could allow water to penetrate into the basement itself. Also, you can see here where the concrete is honeycombed and water coming against that wall in the form of hydraulics from this wet water table, as you can see in here, could compress water to the point that it'll penetrate through the concrete wall, causing wet problems inside. That's why the Delta MS system now draws that water and designs it and directs it down to the perimeter drains here underneath the drain rock. Folks, the best time to put moisture proofing on a foundation wall is at the new construction stage. Otherwise, there's a lot of cost in digging it out and applying it. Also, when it comes to applying the Delta MS product, you can put it on poured foundation walls, preserved wood foundations, the foam stay in place, as well as block. And you know another thing that's very important, if the drain tiles themselves happens to dip down into the excavation, don't be concerned about that because the water will actually flow up in behind the dimples and continue to flow along the wall into the perimeter drains and continue to the drain tile. Now, the product is not that difficult to install. What we've done, we've snapped the chalk line right at grade level of the home, and we've rolled out the Delta MS up against the wall. Now, using the application device, first of all, we put in the little cone piece of plastic which sits right down into the dimple of the Delta MS. Shove it into the cone. And now when it's nailed, we nail it on an 8-inch opposite one another. Every 8 inches we cross back and forth. And then once we've got that installed, we put a termination strip on, and I'll show you that. Now the termination strip, we install that about 1.5 inches down from the top. Now let's nail that on. Now, after that's all installed, then down in behind here, we'll actually put a bead of caulking, sealing it nice and tight. That way, no water whatsoever is going to get in there. When we reach a termination point, there's going to be a possibility of an angle or a slope of the grade. At that particular point, you want to overlap it 8 to 10 inches, and then it's caulked in behind before it's nailed. And then install the mold strip. And then in behind the mold strip, you'll find that the termination bar is applied and then caulked back in behind as well, stopping any water getting in. Joe, the fellas are getting along real well with this project.
Yeah, Shell, this job should be completed within the next couple of hours.
Wow, that's sure not taking long. Now, what about this homeowner? No problems with moisture down the road?
Down the road, the moisture problems will not exist for this homeowner.
They're not going to have any of those health problems as far as moisture migrating in with mildew and mold and all those things?
No, not at all, Shell. With the old traditional damp proofings, that sprayed applied applications, the dirt would sit up against the wall, deteriorate this damp proofing. The wall would act as a sponge and absorb moisture into the basement, getting trapped in behind these finished products.
You bet. And actually, I recall seeing walls that were built from concrete block be lifted with the frost because of the adhesion.
Definitely, Shell. And this is what we've done here on this pier here, is we put the Delta MS in here to stop the freeze adhesion in lifting this pier.
So that would actually slide up and down.
That's correct, Shell.
Great. Well, Joe, I want to thank you very much for coming out and giving us the full rundown on a membrane system. It's
Thank
just
you very
great.
much, Shell.